And when they come out of the oven, they'll look something like this. I'm going to take some butter. You could also mix a little bit of honey in with this butter. And I'm just going to baste the tops of these with some butter. Yeah. Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make classic American buttermilk biscuits. Super easy to do, only 6 ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get baking. Down below in the description box, you'll find a list of the ingredients and their amounts. Now what I did is I took my butter and I froze it. You don't have to use frozen butter, but the colder the butter, the better. And what I did here is I took my frozen butter and I shredded it most of the way. And then I just cut up whatever I couldn't hold with my fingers. I just cut it up into little chunks. But you can just cut it up in little chunks if you want. You don't have to do the shredded method. I do like the shredded method. It just helps the butter incorporate a little easier. And then I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. If you don't have baking soda, then you could use 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And then I have 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. That is the star of the dish. All right, let's go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a large bowl here and I'm going to add in all of my butter. And if you have a food processor, you could certainly use that. Normally I use the food processor, but I wanted to show you how you can do it by hand. And then I'll take my 2 cups of all-purpose flour and I'll just put those in there. Put my 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And you can whisk those all together first if you want, or use a sifter. And then I'm going to just take my pastry blender and we're going to just come in here and we're going to fold that in or cut it in with that butter. And so you can see how the food processor would come in handy here. But people were making buttermilk biscuits long before the food processor came out or was invented. So we're just going to keep cutting. And then when you need to, just come in here and just use a spatula to push out these pieces of butter. And if you are in the UK, the term biscuit is something else over there. And what I'm making might resemble scones that they have in the UK, pretty close to that. But these in the United States are called biscuits. And you can also come in with clean hands if you want, and we can just try to break up that butter and mix it in with this flour. Okay, and once you have that butter incorporated, the flour will probably change just a slightly pale yellow color as opposed to the bright white color. And I'm just going to create a little well here in the middle and then pour in ice cold buttermilk. Again, 3/4 cup. Now some people will add like a tablespoon or 2 of honey or 1 or 2 tablespoons of sugar. I sometimes do that. I'm not going to for this. So we're just going to mix this buttermilk in and just use a nice sturdy spatula and get it all mixed together. And then with clean hands, we can come in here and just kind of knead it and get this dough to stick together. And then I'll take this dough and put it on a floured surface here. And we're going to push it down. And I'm going to just shape it with my hands. I'm not going to roll it right now. Just shape it with my hands into a rectangle. And then I'm going to fold it into thirds. Like that. And then I'm going to turn it. And then I'm going to push it down again. And this just helps create flaky layers. It's not a necessary step, But I recommend doing it if you want the biscuits to turn out a little bit flakier. So again, we're just going to be using the palm of our hands. We're just going to press it and shape it. And we'll do this 2 more times. Fold it into thirds, turn it, and then press it down. And there we go. And then at this point, get our rolling pin, put some flour on it, and we'll roll this out. About 1/2 inch thick, somewhere around there. And then I have my biscuit cutter here. And what you'll do is you'll press it straight down. Don't twist. Pull it straight up. And you can get that one out. And then I'm going to put it in my seasoned cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, then you can use a baking pan or just use a cookie sheet. Straight down, up. Also preheat that oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is like 213, 215 Celsius, something like that. And then I will gather up the rest of this dough and we'll just kind of knead it together a little bit. And the last one, I just kind of shape it. Usually you can get 8 to 10 of these biscuits with this recipe. All right, and now once I have it in my cast iron skillet, let's baste the tops with some, I have some buttermilk here. I'm just going to take my basting brush and we'll baste the tops. And that'll add flavor as well as help the top to brown. And now into the oven it goes, 425 Fahrenheit or 218 Celsius, and we will bake it for 15 to 20 minutes until it's nice and golden brown on the top. On to that step. And when they come out of the oven, they'll look something like this. I'm going to take some butter. You could also mix a little bit of honey in with this butter. And I'm just going to baste the tops of these with some butter. Yeah. And now you can leave them in the pan for just a few minutes, or we can just take them out. If you just let them sit for a minute or two, you can actually grab them with your fingers and they won't be that bad. Just don't touch the cast iron skillet with your bare hands. And if you take one of these and look, you can see like a little bit of layers in there. Amazing. Super easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down in the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into one of these. Oh yeah, I'm going to take this one and just open it up a little bit. Look at that. Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to put a little bit of butter right there.